It is Sunday, December 4th, and the time is 11 a.m. It's been a few weeks since my last video, and just thought of make one quickly to show previous week and just kind of discuss if anything new going on. First of all, there's absolutely nothing new. The system is exactly the same. I'm trading. I'm selling the R1 and R2, and I'm buying the S1 and S2, which are the green lines. So with that said, I'll go ahead and go over the instruments. The instruments have not really changed any. I've added some stocks into the mix, but I do options mostly on those, and I don't do that much with stocks. Starting with the ZN. The ZN, as I've said before, I really don't trade it because of the tick value and the margin requirement. It's a bit heavy tick value for the account size that I have. So I look at the signals on the ZN and trade them off the 10Y, and they're obviously inverted, they're opposite. And the reason I can't get the signals on the 10Y is it don't have enough data. It's a new contract, and I don't have a year worth of data to be able to publish those levels or indicate those levels. So starting with the ZN, this is the start of the week, is the white line in here, and I move this here for this week. So this is the start of the week, and these are the levels I sell, and those are the levels I buy. Now, at times when the VIX is over 31 and we have high volatility, we have some really major news, I may skip R1 and S1 and just take somewhere in here in the middle based on price action. And sometimes price action dictate as well. I look at this level here and see how far it has held, and you don't see that. So if you look down here, for example, you see that this level down here had held multiple times, and if this was and this would be a great setup close to it if it got close to S1. So I do look at price action as well, instead of just the lines that I have in here. So the ZN you could have sold in here, took a little bit of heat, and went back, tested again, went up, and the news came in, and down we went, and that was good. I did take that trade on the 10Y, and that was so the trade set up here on Thursday at let's say 11 a.m. and if you look at Thursday 11 a.m. Start over here. So I would have been long. I'd have taken some heat, went back up, taken some heat again, and up it went. That was good for about $60 or so. It's a very small contract. It's a micro contract. As for the CL, we had started the week in here, moved up, R1, stayed there for a while. You could have taken R1 in here, and this would have been good for about $100 or so in here. Now lately I've been taking a lot of the I see $100 I take them with the futures. The FX is a little bit different. It's 5% for the week still. So R1 went up here. You could have taken some profit, assuming you didn't. It moved up. You would have been adding to the oil in here, and maybe exited with break even on both somewhere in here, or held it through until the end of the week and exited at around break even for the end of the week, Friday, because exit everything on Friday as planned. I did take it in here. I kept watching it, and the oil lately has been in the news a lot, so I thought it'll push quite a few levels, and it did. But up here I decided that it's enough, and I took it up here, and it went down. I took maybe $80 out of this move in here. I could have stayed with it for quite more, but at that time it didn't look like it's gonna stay there. I just took it right over here, I think on this bar. MES or ES, it would opened up in here, move down. This is a different line for something else, so there was really no setup, but I was short here, and that was on. I think I was short in here on Wednesday around the close, and left it through Thursday, and I took profit here around the midpoint on Friday. And the reason is because the SPY actually signaled, even though the MES did not. So if you look at the SPY, we had opened up in here, moved up, and there was an R1 on the SPY, which can be traded for the MES. So that's when I took it, and I went and I picked it up in here, and it was a good trade. It was good for 500, I think. So nothing else set up after that. So he had many opportunities to take in this short on the SPY or MES. Even though news was coming, it's still a good valid trade. You could have moved up to here and you would have been exited in here. So it's about 1-to-1. MNQ. MNQ did give a signal. We started this week, moved down a bit, nothing in here. Then this is the crazy news move that we had from the Fed, and it just stayed in here for the longest time, and that was a good setup. I took it short, and I stayed with it, and I think I was out in here for a good $700 gain on 2 micro lots. So that's the MNQ, and I think the Qs give the same signal. So what I'm thinking of doing is, with the Qs, I may take spreads, call spreads, or may take just options, weekly options. You know, you'd have taken the weekly options in here somewhere. They would have been cheap and would have taken them back to the midpoint. This move from here to here would have made some good money on those options. M2K. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, it's slow. The system is a bit slow. Nothing really set up on the M2K, so I didn't trade it this week. Same thing with the IWM. MYM, it did got close to S1, and I wasn't really watching it. I decided just to trade the MES and MNQ and avoid the M2K and MYM. But I could have taken this long. It would have been good for some profit in here. DIA was pretty much the same way. I did take a trade on the gold. I took 2 lots actually. Moved up to here. I left it alone. Then it kept moving and moving and moving. And over here I thought, okay, that's enough. That's overextended. I sold, and it moved up to R2 and broke it. And I took another lot in here, and I was out on both in here. I wasn't out on the same bar, I don't think. No, yes I was. I think I was. I didn't hold it for. No, I was not. I took it here and here, and I stayed with it overnight. Then the news came, and I picked up everything in here a little bit early, but still it was a very good trade. I think it was good for about 180. The M6A set up a very nice two nice trades. We had it had been opening the week long, and you would have taken profit in here, short profit in here. So they were two great setups with minimal amount of heat or risk. The 6E also maybe yes, maybe no on here in here for a short. but I didn't take it. I didn't take this one, but I did take this in here, and I exited this on the news Friday. So it was short, didn't add to it, didn't quite the chance. I would have probably added in here somewhere. And when the news came, I was out. I was out for $60 or so. 6B did the similar move, opening up the week. I think I took two on this one. I'm not really sure why I took it. No, I took only one. Now this is the cover. So I was short. Took a lot of heat. Should have added really in here. It would have been a great add. I just did not. I had too many positions open at that time, and the news came, and I was out for about $60-70 or so. The Forex still working the same. You know, it have not been making 5%. I had a couple of bad weeks and gave back some, but it's still the system still very much the same. Beginning of the week, you could have sold in here, added, and out on both for profit, or you could have held and been out toward the end of the week in here, or maybe in here for a loss. But I just don't remember. I have so many trades going on this past week. I really don't remember what I took. I didn't think I marked everything on here. I have not been marking them as I should. The Australian Swiss did give us a short in here that went back to the midpoint. Would have been a great trade. The Australian dollar as well had given us a short in here that would have paid off on Friday. The Aussie New Zealand had given us a long in here, but the problem with I haven't been trading this at all actually, because with toss there's some bad ticks that happen that changes all the calculations, and no matter what I try to do to fix that, I just can't find all those bars. Like this bar, it's just a bad tick. It's not really our correct pricing, and I'm seeing those levels, they're completely out of whack. So I'm unable to trade that. So, but the only thing would have showed up is a long in here that would have exited with a loss. But the levels are not really accurate on this pair. The Australian yen had given us a long in here and give us another chance that would have back to the midpoint with a profit. Then another chance in here that would have ended up with a loss, and you could have added to it in here, and the loss would have been less somewhere in this point. It would have been maybe break even or a smaller loss. I would have maybe exited, maybe not. The CAD yen did something similar. We had moved up. You could have taken a long, added to it, and both would have been profitable in here, and maybe a long here again that would have ended up with a loss. So you know, you still have those losses, and you're gonna have to put a stop. I mean, if I've been along here and here, my stop would have been here somewhere, or maybe I'll go back to price action and see a level a while back, but I just can't see it now, and exit there. I usually, when you start seeing this kind of move in here, you want to exit, and on both positions take the loss. The CAD Swiss long would have done okay. Long again, that would have taken a lot of heat and came back for break even toward the end of the week. Swiss yen long would have done good, and you could have taken another long in here, added to it, and maybe down in here would have been out for the small loss or break even. Then after that, it completely collapsed and went down. You could have taken a long in here, and this move would have gave you an opportunity to take a break even or a small loss for both positions, this and this. Pound Aussie had given us a long on S1 that did really well over here, And that's it. Pound CAD short, done really well. Then you could have taken another short in here and added to it and been out here with a small profit or a small loss. I think it'll be a profit because this move here is much much more than this loss in here. It's a small gain. Then pound yen long would have done good. Another long would have taken some heat, but it would have made some profit. Pound Swiss had absolutely nothing. Pound. Oh. We had we had a sell, taken a little bit of heat, nothing been added, but you could have been out with the news on Friday with a small gain, maybe 50 pips or so. Pound New Zealand, like I said, this with the New Zealand pair, those prices, you just have no idea if they're accurate or not. I don't think they are. I don't think we've gotten to S1. So until TAS fixes their feed for the New Zealand pair, I'm probably avoid it for a bit, specifically when I see those bars in here. System's really getting kind of slow with the video. Euro New Zealand, we have a short that done extremely well here. It was a big move. Then long, and would have done well as well also. Euro Swiss, nothing. Euro CAD short, that would going back to the midpoint with a nice gain. Short, maybe add to it, maybe not. Either way, it would have made some profit. Another short that you would have had to add to it, and both would have been in a gain in here somewhere. Euro New Zealand, the same problem with the bad ticks. We'll leave that alone. The euro did give us a short in here and another one in here that both would have been profitable. Euro yen long, taking heat, and maybe give you a little bit in here but not enough to exit. Continued, you could have added to it and possibly out on both with a small loss or small gain, or held it through the weekend. Again, I can't remember my trades. I know I was up this week, I just don't remember the trades. Euro pound, nothing. New Zealand yen, same problem with the New Zealand chart. This would have been well, yeah, I think this is a real move. You know, there was some bad ticks in here, but this would have been a big loss. This would have taken some losses, and again, that's why you still have to have stop losses in here. You would have been short in here, not enough to exit, then added to it, and the move just continued on, and the stop would have been in here, so it would have been a loss on this and this, somewhere in here for sure. Like I said, I didn't take much with the New Zealand pair because of the bad ticks that I keep getting, and it's not giving me the correct calculations. And this is probably the same thing. Yeah, look at this in here. It moved up. This is not a real move, you know. But even with that said, if you're taking a short in here and another one in here, you may have a chance to exit with this. Well, this actually, I don't think this bar is correct. So you would have been maybe break even in here or a loss. because this bar is not correct. And the same thing with the New Zealand. It would have been just a bad trade. We're taking a loss, short, loss, take a loss. Maybe if you're taking it in here, this is right. This is a correct bar. You would have been out break even or small gain in here on both. For the Swiss, and the only thing set up was on Friday, and that was a long. That would have done good. Pound, the yen, long, taking a lot of heat. Most probably would have been stopped in here somewhere. Pound, the yen move have been quite strong lately, so I would definitely taken an exit and taken a loss on this and this one. I don't think I traded that one as well. If you did held it through, you would have been out with a smaller loss in here. You know, from here and added to it, you would have been a smaller loss in here. The CAD would have been short in here, added to it, then both of them would have done extremely well. I would have probably been out here somewhere with all this price action. Still holding Palantir. I have a core position there that I hold for long term for the fundamental reasons. And I've been looking at some options in here. I did take some that did do okay. I've been trying to take them up at the R2 and S2, so I think there was a put in here that did okay. Microsoft has also been moving. You could have taken a short in here and that would have been made some money, but with options, the time eats up. So if you're taking a weekly option that's going to expire on this day, Friday, most probably you're not going to make much with this move because the time had eaten away most of the premium. Amazon, nothing in Apple. Oh, well, actually Apple was a bit long in here. That done okay, I guess. And Google was same thing. You could have been short or buying puts in here. Done okay. So yeah, nothing really changed. The same setup. Everything's still the same. My trades with the futures account has been doing extremely well, more than 5% a week, and I've been focusing more and more on that. The Forex had just 2 bad weeks. Other than that, it's okay. And one thing I want to mention in this video is I just do just to help my trading and to keep me focused on the process and nothing. I don't need any likes or subscriptions or I'm not selling any services at all. So this is just something to help me stay focused and continue doing what I'm doing, which is trading.